Going to be replacing a gate on my fence. We had a storm about 4 or 5 months ago, and my gate, which was here, and the side supports came down. The reason it came down was that the support on the east side gave way, it rotted, and allowed the gate to just fall off. This is in conjunction with the fence I just built. If you can see the fence, move the camera where you can see the fence. The fence was actually redone by myself 2 years ago, and you can see the way it's done. I didn't do it the standard way. I did it the way a friend of mine told me about, and I really like it. It's to put 2x4s on the outside of the 4x4s and then top it off with 2x6s on top. And his fence has lasted more than 30 years and it looks brand new. So I had some leftover 2x6s from an old deck, and so I decided to do it this way. But now I'm working at first replacing what was on the east side of the gate, and it's down where this hole is. It was a real job getting the old concrete out of the hole. I had to dig and retrieve several broken pieces. It had broken in 3 or 4 sections. Every time I got a section out of it, I thought it was the end, and then I would find more. So finally, the bottom 2 sections were only about 2 to 3 inches deep, up to 6 inches deep, and it took a real job to get those out of the bottom of the hole. The hole is about 24 inches deep, and I dug down another 6 inches, and I've placed some rocks, some real small pebbles in the bottom that I'm hoping to set the new 4x4 on and help it drain. So I've cleared away the step stones, and I'm ready to start replacing the east side section there, and I'm going to build a new gate. You can see from the outside where the old gate, the screws just came out, and next door neighbor has replaced his section of fence that was also leaning, and he's tied the latch into to my portion of the fence. I'm probably going to have to relocate this latch. I'd like to put a full board there, so we'll have to see how that works. I may have to make these and trim these down to put fewer boards here. I think there's 6. I may have to go with 7, so I may have to narrow them down a bit and cut them custom. I've got my plans. I've got all the measurements done that I need to build the section on the east. Once I have that done, then I can take measurements between the posts and build a new gate. I'm certainly going to build it better than this. This was built while all the wood was wet, and I've since learned from several people, including my contractor friend who helped me design the fence, that the way to build with pressure-treated wood is to let it dry out. Buy it, stack it where it's not going to warp, and then let it dry out for about 3 to 4 months in a cool, dry place, such as the garage. So I have the lumber all stacked there. I need to get out a 4x4 to build the east section, and then I'm going to build a new gate, probably with the same kind of design, maybe a little better. As you can see, I have the 4x4 and 2 2x4s I'm going to need for this construction. I'm going to need some pieces of 4x4, but I'm going to cut them from some old scraps that are still very good. But you can see after storing them, they'll still, they're very, very straight, very true. They're flat for the most part, as flat as my driveway, at least. So they're in good shape, and they probably weigh about 25% less than they did when I first bought them, because they're now dry. Okay, I'm about ready to assemble the east side of the non-hinge side of the fence supports. So I'll show you how I've got it arranged before I put it together. As you can see, I've got the 4x4 ready and laid out. I've cut some of it off to use as these other supports, these small 4x4s, and I've marked them. And what you can see is I've got them drilled for pocket holes on both sides. So what I'm going to do is attach it here at the end with pocket screws. And I've done the same for the other with pocket screws on both sides. And I'm going to place them about here. And then I'm going to place this 2x4, which should go against the brick wall, onto there. And I'm just going to attach them with screws here into the 4x4s. And additionally, I've got this little 2x4 that I'm going to place here. You can see it there, approximately against the side, to act as a spacer, and nailer for the center of the pickets. So this, you're looking at the inside of the inside the fence, and the other side is the outside. And this hopefully will go in the ground. Pardon the strap. I apologize for the decor. It's about 94 degrees here, with about 80% humidity. So working out here pretty quick, you get like this. Well, here is the east side support that's going to go to on the latch side of the gate. It's finished, except I need to put some sealant on it. That'll keep it a little fresher for a little longer. And it didn't come out exactly as I thought. You know, the old saying, measure twice, cut once. The newer saying is more true. Measure twice, cut once. Measure again, cuss, go buy more material, cut again. And that's what happened. It was actually a little bit too narrow right here. So I had to take this board off and cut these down. And then it was a little bit, I'd cut too much off of the bottom to go in the hole, so I just added a few more, about 1.5 inches of rocks, and I extended the top by adding another 4x4 at the top. And you can see there's a little piece of the scrap 2x4 I had was not long enough, so there was a piece of scrap 2x4 that I had cut off this one earlier, or actually another one, and I glued it and screwed it to the end to fill up the space. You can notice that just about everything is put together with pocket screws, and except for the boards on the side, they're all with deck screws, pre-drilled and countersunk to keep them out of the way. I'm probably going to, after I finish, I'm going to put some plastic wood over them to keep them from rusting. They're lifetime guarantee, but I don't trust that. So I had to trim a little bit off of this section here with a handsaw, with a Japanese backsaw, because of the foundation actually sticks out a little bit more than the brick. So this is going to go up against the brick. And but I've tested it and put it in, and it's just the right height. And so this will be the side that the pickets will go against, and I'll nail them into here, and should be very stable and last for many years. I've mounted the east side support against the house, set it in concrete, and this was up here just to support it until it's set. I'm sorry for the air conditioner noise. Bad timing. I've installed this Z-bracket on this inside support, and I'm going to put a screw with drill a hole and put the counterpart for the anchor. And I've used this because it has a large hole here, and I'm going to put it in the middle, and this will give it a little bit of room to move up and down. I looked hard for a bracket that would have an oblong shaped slot in it where it would allow for movement, but I couldn't find one, and I didn't want to have one specially made. There's probably one available for some other type of device, but anyway, this will anchor it at least to the house, and sometimes the action of the gate makes this end up being a little bit loose. So this will help it keep anchored, so I won't have to lift the gate to keep it away from the supports. So there it is. And I'm going to fill in with some plugs on these pocket screw holes to keep bugs and insects from making nests in there, and also to protect the screw head. If I don't, water will go in there and it'll rust out the screw head, so I want to seal those up real well on both sides. And that way, if I ever need to remove them, I can always come back, drill out the plug, and remove the screws. I don't anticipate doing that, but you never know.